Whether you're picking and grinning or just picking or just grinning, grab a drink, pull up a seat. It's time for Roots Music Rambler. Turn it up. So, Frank, I think we finally made it, because now on the internet, Roots Music Rambler is big enough to have haters. And I love it.
I know you do.
It's so awesome. And I got to share this with everybody.
All right.
We have, comments on various platforms on some of our full episodes, and then on some of our YouTube shorts and the reels and social media stuff that we post out there to share little bits and pieces of the podcast, hoping everybody will come back here and watch and listen to the whole thing. Well, I watch a couple of the comment threads. Frank sees more of the comments than I do, and she's more attentive to them, which is great because I'm usually editing shit. But she sent me a link to a YouTube comment on our Does Wilco Suck episode the other day. So this episode is like old.
It's like 2 years old, right?
2 years ago, right? And so 4 days ago from the time we're recording this in late May, we get a comment from Gregory D40. So is that like WD40, Gregory? I'm not sure what. Gregory D40. All right. And his comment on our Does Wilco Suck episode is, and I quote, "You suck quite a bit. In fact, we don't need to buckle up for it."
True story.
Awesome. I fucking love it. Thank you, Gregory. You made my month, maybe my year, because we love having someone to hate us. I thrive on it. So
I know you do.
It's so good. You suck quite a bit. In fact, we don't need to buckle up for it. Okay.
All right, cool. Thanks, Greg.
All right. Gregory, I would suggest maybe that you listen to the whole episode.
Right.
You're getting upset over a question. You're not getting upset over the actual answer. Because if you listen to the whole episode, we kind of concluded they don't suck.
Right. Exactly. That's one of those cases of like just reading the headline and not reading the whole article, and then wanting to argue with people, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So, Gregory, if you're listening, and we hope that you are, we really do.
We do.
Maybe go back and listen or watch the whole thing.
Yeah. And every time I refresh the page, I hear my little thing. When we come back, does Wilco suck?
And if for any other reason, that was a fun episode, though.
That was a very good episode. It was a lot of fun.
It was fun. So if anything, just go ahead and
it's okay.
thumb all the way back into our catalog to find it. I think it was like episode 12. And something we're like on 80 something now. Yeah, so exactly. Just go ahead and listen.
What that means is Gregory has been catching up on the archives.
This is true.
Actually, I think it was on a YouTube short, so Gregory probably didn't listen to the episode at all. I would guess. That'd be my guess. Gregory, if you're listening,
that was
pop us another comment. You probably didn't even see the episode or listen to the whole thing. You probably just had that little soundbite of me asking the question on a YouTube short, which was 20 seconds long or whatever. So I would be interested to know, Gregory, if you're out there, pop us another comment. Did you actually listen to anything, or was it just based on the YouTube short that you saw? It would be useful information for us and for you, I'm sure. So, all right, that's one.
Oh,
we got two.
We got another one?
We got another one. So this is similarly a comment on a social media post, which I think is very different than a comment on the actual episode of the podcast, right? If you're commenting on the full episode of the YouTube or play or Spotify or wherever you see the video, or listen to the full episode on your audio platform, if you see a comment there, that's probably someone who's paying attention and they're responding to something you said in the show.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
These responses and comments are on social media posts, our little 30 to 60 second clips of things from the show to promote the full episode and let everybody know there's something new and fun to listen to. And so on not the Roots Music Rambler version of the post, because sometimes I cross post our stuff on my personal channels too. And this is from my Instagram, my kind of cross post of something from the Hollerhead episode where I'm talking about the Noel Gallagher Oasis situation.
Oh, yeah,
right?
yeah.
And I said we need to provide maybe a little room for forgiveness for some of these artists that we hold grudges against or we don't like for one reason or another that's not musically related. That was kind of the gist of it. And so in this little clip, it's where I tell the story of seeing Noel Gallagher on this radio show, listening to a kid play, James Bay when he was a kid, play a cover of Don't Look Back in Anger. And I saw a glimpse of humanity in Noel Gallagher's eyes. And I don't remember him that way. I remember him being an arrogant prick.
Yeah.
So I'm retelling that story. So we have a comment, and the comment, if I can open the comments, where's the damn comment? Oh, here he goes. The comment is from Corey Reeder, Reeder, Corey Reeder. He says, wait a minute, you need to forgive Noel Gallagher for you having a presumption that he was arrogant. Seems like you need to rethink your thought process, bud.
Okay.
So Corey he got a little lippy there. Okay.
A little bit.
Now I responded to Corey and on the Instagram thing there, whatever that's called, message.
It was a message or a comment?
No. It was a comment. I'm sorry. It was a comment.
Okay.
I don't know what to call the things anymore. I don't pay attention to the social media shit these days because the younger generation abbreviates shit and doesn't even use full words, and they make stuff up based on sounds and shit. And I'm like, I can't keep up with that fucking shit. Anyway.
Okay.
All right, bruh. So my response to Corey was, it wasn't a presumption. He's always been arrogant, but I saw some humility in there, bud. So I responded to Corey. That was my response to Corey. And again, Corey, if you're listening, I doubt you are. I wonder, did you just see the Instagram thing or did you listen to the episode? Did you understand the full context of thing? That would be great for us to know. So this is why we love haters, because normally you're hating on something that we don't understand. Did we do something wrong? And so if we actually have a conversation with you, we figure out how to get better. So thank you for hating, especially online. I'll give both of them credit. They use their names. They're not hiding behind some stupid avatar. So that's good. Thanks, guys. Gregory and Corey. I assume you're guys. I don't know any women Gregorys, but anyway. So we have haters now, and I think that means we are legit.
Yeah, I think we've made it. Safe to say.
We love for people to comment, and honestly, we're not big enough for a lot of people to comment all the time. But when people do comment and it's negative, it's like we got a little present for Christmas or something. It's like, oh my God, somebody hates us. This is awesome. I love it. Just eat it up.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Welcome to Roots Music Rambler. She's Frank.
And he is False.
And we're rambling on through the stories behind the music we love.
Yes. And today on the show, Adam Chaffins is here with us. Yay. He's got a new deluxe version of his 2025 EP Trailer Trash that is coming out August 21st. He also just announced that 1 week later, he'll finally make his Grand Ole Opry debut.
How cool is that? I may try to go to that. I mean, I would make the trip down for that. Now, we've talked about Adam a few times on the show before, and if you know your stuff in the Americana space, you'll know he is one half of the Americana singer-songwriter power couple with friend of the show, Britt Taylor.
That's right. Yes. And they are new parents. They just had a baby girl last fall. And you may remember Britt talking about playing Bourbon and Beyond last fall while 8 months pregnant, which I can't. I've been 8 months pregnant twice. I could barely stand, let alone play music, but whatever. Yeah. So we get a little update on how Adam is also adjusting to fatherhood.
And for the record, I look 8 months pregnant, but I'm not. But I was there for that and got to see her perform on the Bourbon and Beyond stage. Anyway, for the record, also, everyone needs to know, Adam is a fellow Morehead State University graduate. Go Eagles. He calls Lawrence County, Kentucky home. That's the same neck of the woods as Tyler Childers, who grew up in Lawrence and Johnson counties mostly. Louisa, which is the county seat, is also the hometown of Ricky Skaggs. So you'll understand my enthusiastic bias for my peoples like Adam.
Yes, understood. And he's also a stand-up bass player, which, I'm a big fan. At least in Brit's band, right? So he's also a producer. He's been in Nashville for more than a decade, doing a lot of different roles. So we're likely to learn a ton from Adam today on the show, and we're just thrilled to have him.
And by the way, Adam played music for other people before he started helping Brit or doing solo stuff himself. He's played with Billy Strings, so he can play. But anyway. At any rate, we are definitely thrilled to have him on the show today. And we will, of course, have our Pickin the Grinnin segment where we offer up recommendations for songs, albums, artists, or other things we're listening to that are making us grin. Let us now, however, jump out for a quick break to thank the fine sponsors that make this show possible. When we come back, Adam Chaffins will talk trailer trash Doublewide with us. Stay tuned. This is Roots Music Rambler.
I'll have some cash to take you anywhere that you want.
Welcome back to Roots Music Rambler. That little ditty is called Trailer Trash. It is the title track off of Adam Chaffin's 2025 EP, which is set to become a deluxe full album release August 21st. It's called Trailer Trash Doublewide, which is fucking brilliant. And Adam Chaffins, his own self, is here with us on the big show to talk about. Adam, my man, thanks for hanging with us tonight. How are you?
Here he is, man. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's wonderful to be here in my garage talking to you. I love it.
I love it. I love it. That's good. So for the indoctrinated in the arts and sciences of hillbillydom, and the people who probably think trailer trash is a 100% negative term and insult, might be wrong. Why don't you educate folks on the title of the song and the term and what that means to you, since you're leading with it these days?
Well, I guess to preface all that, I got a text message one day from a really good friend and a frequent collaborator, a guy named Adam Wright, who's a Georgia boy. And he sent me a text and he was like, "Hey man, did you grow up in a trailer?" And I mean, perhaps it's because he knew I was from Eastern Kentucky. I'm not so sure. It was very random. And I just texted him back and I said, I did. It was a Doublewide. And he's like, "I think I have an idea for us." And we got together and, we just kind of went back and forth. So I guess the only qualifying factor I have to sing a song called Trailer Trash is that I did indeed grow up in a double-wide trailer, a single-wide trailer before that. So we advanced, but to me the over the topness of the track kind of explains everything about what it is. I think it's trying to just own the term trailer trash and know that especially in the world today, man, it's so tough to it just depends. Like, you can't have enough of anything anymore. Like, nothing is cutting the mustard anymore. And the whole premise of that is that you, as you are worthy of everything that you want, and you shouldn't have to prove that. Awesome. So I'll say that's what Trailer Trash is about.
Love it.
We're curious about last year's EP release versus this year's deluxe double-wide release. So I don't know that we see EPs that evolve into full albums. Was that your plan all along, or did you just hit a creative spurt and then it became a full record? So if you could just take us through that last year to this year with the project.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of recorded things in little different batches. Really two batches, the first EP batch. And then it seemed like everything was still fitting with the form of it, and I felt like the Trailer Trash Saga was not complete yet. Um, and it's funny, the double wide version is clearly more than double because it's 9 more songs. So we have a 14 song project, which I'm really proud of, and I you know it's been a long time since my first record came out, and this is quite a bit more songs than that, and we just had the stuff, and was really excited to kind of get it all out and and put it out in this project. And I feel like the whole song is just such a theme of my life, and the saga of where I've been and where I am now and how it's ended up to where we are today. And I think the record, explains all of that. And it's a country record, but it's also a record for anyone who loves the Great American Songbook like I do. And it's just about good songs and well, hopefully good songs, and it's about presenting them in the way that kind of explores all the influence I've had, which are pretty wide and varying. And we held nothing back on that, and that's what I'm really proud about this project. And it's kind of a dream to work with the band on this thing. It's all kind of my heroes. It's like and Frank Rogers is getting to co-produce that with him and some other guys was really a dream come true. It's just someone who's known stuff, and to have these songs be out on the radio airwaves right now was a big part of it too. And to not sacrifice anything other than just we're going to go in and record the way we would without any thought for anything else to happen. And that's what happened with this project. So it's really been a long time coming, and it's crazy that we're finally staring at it because it seems like it's been forever.
Well, I know
approaching it.
I know Doublewide is your second full album release, I guess, since your solo album was 2020, I believe. But I also know that you've been cranking out singles in the meantime, but you're also a huge part of your wife, Britt Taylor's writing, band, and production. I know you do a lot of writing in collaboration with others. I know you produce on the side as well. I wonder, has it been challenging for you to find time for Adam Chaffins and all the things you had going on the last few years? How do you balance it all?
I still haven't. If you figure out how to balance it all, please let me know. I'm still working on. I'm still working on the playbook. And now we have a beautiful little baby girl into the mix. And if anything, that does is it brings more perspective into all of it. But no, I've never been one for real routine, for better or worse, and I love to keep things fresh and interesting. I've had a pretty wonderful history touring with a bunch of people and playing in different bands. And I feel like anytime I've done those things for too long, it starts to just really be like, all right, I got to do something else. So I have to keep it fresh. I have to keep it moving. I love making records because it's not learning a piece of music and performing it, which I also love to do as well. But the thing about making records is it's just on the moment, and it's everything that you've learned up into that moment before the record gets hit, is what's sitting there waiting to happen. And then sparks fly, and then things just come to life. So it's such a big part of why I live in Nashville, Tennessee, pound for pound, the best music making city in the world. And that's why it's always been a dream to live here. And it's a dream come true to just be such a part of the community, the writing community, the recording community, and everything that is Nashville. It's so near and dear to my heart.
So Jason brought it up, and we asked Britt a similar question when she was on the show before. Again, how do you balance it all? Her career versus your career, not just recording, releasing records, but touring and writing. Do you guys have firm guardrails up? Or do you decide what gets focused as you're working through the songs and ideas?
Well, I still feel very much in the hey, I'm over here, look at me phase of my career. So I don't know if there's any guardrails other than keep the wheels on the road. I think that's the only guardrails I have, is make sure the wheels stay on the road. And you get a lot more perspective and you get better at it, and you learn as you get older, I'm not gonna do that, or this doesn't make sense, or just things like that. But by and large, I feel blessed and honored every day that I get to do this. And anytime I get to make music for people or get to talk to people who want to talk to me about the music I've made and create, I consider that a big blessing and honor. And, the whole reason kind of kicked off doing the things that we've been doing.
Sweet. Well, you mentioned Adam Wright earlier, and I think Britt actually talked about him a little bit on the show when she was on the show the last. So I know that Adam is a brilliant songwriter, and I know a little bit of his music, but not as much as you do, obviously. Tell us a little bit more about Adam and how the three of you, because I think he also works with, obviously, Britt and writes with her too.
Yeah.
How y'all kind of came to be.
Oh man, we kind of came separately. It's funny. I just did a trip with Adam. We went up to Newport, Rhode Island with Leanne Womack, and I can't say too much more about all that, but we just had a fun trip, and it was interesting. On that thing, I was like, man, we've known each other for a while, because his kids are getting older, and it's like I feel like I've known them since they were babies, and now we have a baby, and I've given his son bass lessons and stuff like that, and I've got to spend time with his family in Noonan, Georgia, and his whole family are just amazing people, and also a huge part of country music history. So he's just a genius. I feel like I was talking another guy we write a lot of songs with and writes with Adam too, a guy named Brian Simpson. If you don't know, but he goes by Uncle B. Brian was like, I feel like Adam just writes songs just to humor us all. Like he doesn't need anyone else to write a song with. But I will tell you, I enjoy listening to Adam's songs and him play his own songs as much as I do anybody. I mean, he's Dylan to me. He's in this upper stratosphere of songwriting that can't be touched. It's like once you're up in the upper echelons of that, then it's like whatever, and he has such I can't, to your listeners, I can't say enough how much you should just go dive into his catalog of music. It's all out there, and he has so many great records, and they're all over the place, and in styles and genres as well, but at the core of it, it's just the best songwriting that's happening. And yeah, I can't say enough. He's incredible, and I've learned so much from him. He played on Britt's record. He's played on some of my recordings as well, and he was a big part of that whole process, both writing. He wrote, we both wrote a ton of songs together for that project, and they have some other co-writes together with other people too, and then together. So he's just like, a day with Adam Wright is going to be a good day, no matter what you're doing. That's what I can say. Yeah.
That's a great quote, and I'm sure he'll appreciate that. And hopefully our listeners do too, and go check out all his music.
Yeah. Now, you do.
So hats off to Adam Wright, but we got to get back to Adam Chaffins, and we need to hear more of Trailer Trash Doublewide. As we jump out for a quick break, let's see how many of you are from a small town and know someone like the king of Coal Dust County. From Adam Chaffins, this is Roots Music Rambler.
The king of Coal Dust County drives a silver back up a holler where the sun don't shine. Yeah, I don't know much, but this I know. Yeah, we fit together like a fiddle and a bow. Hey, Kentucky girl, you make a man feel lucky, girl.
Welcome back to Roots Music Rambler. That's another song off of last year's Trailer Trash EP, which is becoming a deluxe release this August as Trailer Trash Doublewide from Adam Chaffins. That's Kentucky Girl, and Adam should know about him. He grew up in Lawrence County, Kentucky, around a bunch of them. Married Britt Taylor, who is one of them, though she's from Knott County, down the road a little bit. And Adam is with us on the show to talk about all that and more. All right, Adam, we want to dig into that childhood and how music started for you in a minute. But first, I saw a picture you posted this week of you at probably 7 or 8 years old singing into a mic with a Grand Ole Opry banner around it in a Facebook post in which you let everyone in on a big moment for you. August 28th, 1 week after the Doublewide project drops, you're finally going to make your Grand Ole Opry debut.
That's
Congratulations,
right, man. We're
man.
hitting the Opry. We're hitting the circle. Well,
Isn't that great? Tell us how you found out and what that's like.
It's a dream come true. And I think by the time this airs, we'll have a little post of it. But I was out in Vegas last week. I was out there on my birthday, actually, during the ACMs doing some stuff. And my whole team kind of got us together at the place we were staying. And, I thought we were just having a little birthday cocktail mixer, what have you. And then they just throw on me, hey, by the way, happy birthday, you're playing the Opry. And it was a setting I would have never imagined any of that to go down in a Las Vegas casino. But it was a beautiful moment, and it felt like a long time coming, but it's also it's weird when you just know. And I've been fortunate to play on the show a few different times with friends and different bands I've been in on different debuts, but never with my own music and own campaign of stuff, as it were. So it's such a huge honor. It's the pinnacle. It's the top of the chain in country music. And if you moved to Nashville, Tennessee to make country music, you gotta have said you played the Opry. That's just the thing. That's just one of the things you got to do. And it just seemed like this thing I hadn't done yet. And man, it's such a fun thing to think about. That's what the summer is leading up to, and the album release and everything. And it's going to be a really sweet moment and a beautiful night. And it's something I have visualized. I would be lying if I said I haven't visualized it for many, 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 many years. So it's going to be exciting.
I bet. And you playing the Opry, that my pal Jason over here is going to hit you up for some comps, right?
Oh, okay.
I pay for all my tickets. I will gladly buy tickets to come see your debut at the Opry.
Yeah, you can.
I've seen a couple of debuts in my time, but my Kentucky people I got to stick with. So don't worry. I'm going to try to be there.
Yeah, man. We hope to see y'all.
All right. Just kidding a little bit. But anyway, we're very excited for you. And I mean, you were talking about it, the whole reveal, and I'm sitting here getting the chills. So the picture that Jason referred to was when you were a kid. So tell us about growing up in music. When did it first become a thing? When did you start playing?
This is as long as I can remember, honestly. It's like music is the common thread to my whole life. Like without it, I have no idea what I would stand upon. It seems it's everything. It's been even through school and into college, and it was a part of it's like how I've been able to see the world because of music, and I always wanted to see the world playing music. So they've both kind of gone hand in hand, and I grew up on US 23 in the 90s when country music was just popping. And my dad used to set up at flea markets and stuff, and I'd go buy cassette tapes, and I would just cram them all night long, and Ricky and Keith Whitley and Brooks and Dunn and Alan Jackson and an endless amount of folks. I would sit and listen to tapes and just study stuff, and always just wanted to be a part of the scene of country music. And I think that photo is from a trip. My mom brought me to Nashville there used to be a really awesome amusement park here called Opryland, which I'm not an OG Nashvilleian, but I did spend a bunch of time here as a kid because I had some family that lived down here, and we used to go to Opryland. So I have a vivid memory of Opryland as a kid, and it was an awesome place. And I'm pretty sure that photo, because the Opryland was right around the Opry, and that's where that photo came from. So in my mind, then I think as a kid, I thought I'd already played the Opry probably from that photo. But that's one that's been around for a long time, and it was really funny when we were talking about announcing it. I was like, oh, I think I have a photo of me as a kid at the Opry, and then I'd sent it to someone on my team, and they sent it to the Opry, and the Opry was like, can we post that like when we announce it? And I thought that, to me, that was the coolest thing, the fact that they put that photo on the Opry landing page was the coolest, the thing I never would have, like, I can't believe that's happening also on top of this. And it's been going nuts. My phone has gone crazy for the last couple of days since we shared that news.
That's awesome.
Now, I know you also, in there along the way, as you grew up, made your way to Morehead State University. Go Eagles.
That's
class of
right.
95 right
go
here.
ahead.
So, connect the dots for us, though. How do you go from Morehead State to Nashville? I know you've toured with Jake Owen, I believe Leanne Womack, and then we're going to have to ask a little bit more about playing with Billy Strings. But how did those opportunities come along for you?
From Morehead or gigging?
Either. I mean, take us, when you left Morehead, where did you go? When did you get to Nashville? How did it all evolve?
Well, I mean, after Morehead, I came down here, and I guess I had, I always wanted to move here. There were some other places I considered going for graduate school, but Nashville ended up being the spot, and I was just so burnt on school instantly. I hated the idea of going to class anymore, and I was gigging a lot. Like, I was hanging out with tons of folks who were doing it, and getting booked on tours and stuff like that. So and honestly, when I first moved to town, I was just really immersed in bluegrass music, and I kind of started with a couple different bands, and joined a band called Deadly Gentlemen that was based out of Boston, Massachusetts. So I spent a bunch of time in Boston and hanging around Back Bay at Berklee College of Music, and really just cutting my teeth on. I felt like I was still learning how to pick and play, and I wasn't as, the Nashville scene also in that time was a lot different than it is now. And I had some success as a writer in the little after 2010, 2012 or something. I'd kind of won some songwriting awards. But it even seemed then, to say I have like a day job, as it were, writing songs, it seemed such a far away thing at that point. Like, it seemed like picking and playing on the road was a place I needed to be more than kind of a part of the Nashville music row scene. Like I was here almost a decade before I really got involved into that element of Nashville. And that, I don't know why, because it happened pretty fast. As soon as I just met some folks, they were like, yeah, come, let's do all this stuff. And I was like, well, that was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. But yeah, I've been fortunate on the way to play with like some of my heroes, and to play with some of the top people out doing it. And I've got to learn lessons from hanging out with their camps and being on stages with them. And I feel like I've had a really different and thorough perspective of the music industry, and especially touring and playing shows. It's like there's a lot of people who have incredible careers just playing their set, just playing their show, and they've only ever done their show. And I can say that I've done countless amounts of shows, and played with countless amounts of different artists, either in the studio or on touring. And it's been a great experience all around. I feel like more than I've been a writer or a player or whatever, I've just been committed to the journey. especially doing it as long as I've been doing it, it's like you can't really focus on the end destination. I've learned to stay away from that mentality because there is no, if you just think it's all going to end up in this one spot, you're probably going to be now what, And I've never had to say now what. It's always been like, oh, we're going to do this now. Or we're going to go do this now. So I've tried to always keep it fresh and keep it fun and interesting. And I probably have a hard time saying no to some stuff. But which gets back into the whole, how do you do all this? But
right.
like I love to keep it fun and fresh and interesting. And if there's anything I can say, I've been able to do that in my time in Nashville.
Well, one person you didn't say no to was Billy Strings, right? Jason.
I've known Billy a while.
That.
Yeah. Billy and I kind of grew up, or kind of came up in the same, I was playing with a band called Town Mountain, and Billy and I, we were playing festivals all the time, and Royal Massat, who's played bass with him forever. Royal and I used to switch gigs back and forth if we couldn't do something, hit each other up like, hey, can you cover me for this, that, and the other? And I was fortunate to get to go out and play with Billy. And really, I think one of the hadn't known Billy and seen him play, and watch him grow and see how captivating he was. It's like Billy could have played any style of music and would still be as equally popular. He just has this thing about him, and he also connects with people on a whole nother level that's just really inspiring to watch. And I remember doing some shows with him and having known him for a while, and all of us being a part of this struggle and hustle to get people to give a shit. And you go through time forever, and I'm just being so good. And then I remember doing a show with him on the road, and the energy and it was a sold out show, and it was just, I felt like we were about to get mobbed. I thought they were going to rush the stage and take over. The energy was so intense. And I remember in that moment being like, oh, Billy's a star. Like, this is, we're gone. And, no end in sight for that feller.
So we talked too about other genres. Is it more difficult to play bass for bluegrass versus other genres? I mean, watching even Billy playing, right? Just how quickly his fingers are moving, and it just like, I feel like I'm going to pass out just watching it. So as someone who plays the music, is it more difficult to play the upright bass, let's say, for bluegrass versus other genres?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I would say no.
Okay.
I think it's all different, I don't know. I try to just look at it like you're just playing.
Okay.
Maybe I should analyze that some more. No, I don't.
I would think bluegrass is just the speed of it.
Right.
That's how fast you're playing a lot of times is probably more challenging, maybe not difficult, but taxing or something.
I did a lot of like classical bass stuff in college, and that's way harder. I'll just be completely honest.
Okay.
If you see someone with a bow playing an upright bass, that's way harder than picking 1 and 5 on a thing. But I don't know. Everything has its place, and you make the art what it is. And I think it's not necessarily about how hard it is, but like how earnest it sounds. I think I tried, to just be like honest about what I'm doing and not make it a spectacle so much as like art and something that feels that way. But no, I feel like it's all equally as hard. That's what I should say. It's all hard.
Okay.
Yeah. Everything is equally as hard. I'll say that.
Fair. Right. Speaking about things that are hard, how's fatherhood treating you?
A little harder than bluegrass, that is for sure. No, it's not. It's man, it's a beautiful thing. It's something you don't ever know how is gonna happen, or everyone says you never will be really ready. I feel like that's true, and I also think that I'm definitely way more ready than I would have, when I was picking my Billy strings to have a kid. That's for sure. But no, it's a wonderful experience. And like I said, it adds a lot more perspective, and it's like kind of gives you more like purpose for all of it, and it's less about you. And I think a lot of this doing this stuff is separating yourself from the music itself, because what I really care about is the songs that you're spinning on your show more than I do talking about myself and my imagery. I care more about the music, so having a child, I think, puts that into more perspective of like, all right, the goal is just to be the best person to witness to this being that you created, that is going to go into the world and hopefully be a beacon of light and positivity for the rest of humanity. And how fortunate am I and my wife, how fortunate are we to like say we get to make music for a life. And it is, she's had some incredible experiences. It's like, when I started out in music as a kid, it was like you had to really, really dig and to find someone. No one, neither of mine and Britt's families played music, so we had to like go like source it elsewhere. It was like something from in here, and church and things like that were a great way to like find people who play music. But she has had, it's like she's either going to be take to it very easily or just be very unamused, because she gets to like, she gets to hear Adam Wright, make up music and sing songs in our living room. And Britt the other day was riding with Meg McCree and Kaylee Hammock, and like the three of them sing to like her in 3-part harmony. It's like the most gorgeous angelic sound. It's like, most kids don't get that experience.
No.
That early on. She's getting exposed to just world-class art. And I'm really, if there's anything that our journey has done, is that we get to expose her to that stuff so quick. Like we didn't have that. I didn't get exposed to that until I was in my late teens, 20s, and here she is, not even a year old, and getting to hear some of the best singers and pickers in the world on the regular.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Awesome.
What a lucky little girl. And
yeah,
we have to say, it seems like you are living a very charmed life. You talk about Britt, amazing wife, successful artist. You played a big part in that as well. You've been successful yourself. You've got this new album coming up at the end of August. So you're climbing a bit higher on your own career path. So what more can a guy ask for?
Oh, I don't know, I like to keep some L8 in the fridge down here in Tennessee.
Yeah.
That's
some what?
L8.
Some L8.
L8 one. It's a
help the Yankee out here.
Soft drink.
Yeah. It's
okay. All right. Never heard of it.
I don't know what else. It's good,
it's kind of like ginger ale, but not really.
But much better.
Okay.
Yes. With caffeine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And it's great. And it's great with a good mid-shelf whiskey as well.
Oh, all right. Now we're talking.
No, you just nailed it. I live a very beautiful, charmed life. Got a little farm out here and tons of creatures and animals, and I get to live the dream every day. And there's ebbs and flows like anyone has with anything they do, and I have to pinch myself sometimes. And sometimes when things are really difficult, I have to do a whole blessing count and go back and look and say, hey, you used to beg to have the problems that you have now. Like you would have begged to have these issues, so I'm fortunate that my phone rings and I get calls to do stuff, and that people put my records out and spin it on the radio, and I get to talk to awesome folks like you about the life I've got to live. So as long as I get to keep doing that, And if I don't, then it's been fun to this point. I'll say that, you know.
Well, that's a good way to look at it. Well, we think
Yeah.
you can ask for more people to find and listen to your music. So why don't you take this time to let everyone know where they can find you and your music on their interwebs?
Yeah, you get on the Google machine and you type in ADAMCHAFFINS, and you should find me. Anywhere you stream music, you can find Trailer Trash. You can go now and pre-save the Trailer Trash Doublewide that comes out August 21st, like we were talking about. And hit me up. I do a lot of Instagramming. I've got a pretty famous goat who does pretty well on the Instagram too. His name's Memphis. I think there's people across the world that know me more for Memphis than for my music. So, follow along however you see fit. Come see me out there.
Well, goats give me the heebie-jeebies, but I like your Instagram feed nonetheless. Adam, I've been looking forward to this, man, since I first met you back at the Burl a couple years ago. Can't wait to see Trailer Trash Doublewide blow up. And do not be shocked, please, if you hear a good "Go Eagles" from the Opry crowd.
Oh man, I hope I hear that. That'd make my night.
I'm going to do my very best to be there, brother. Us hillbillies are awfully proud of our own, brother. So I'm planning on being there. Hey, thanks so much for hanging with us.
Awesome.
Yeah, thanks so much for hanging with us, and tell Britt we said hello.
She says hello as well. Awesome. You have a wonderful evening. Appreciate you all so much.
He is Adam Chaffins. The album is due out August 21st. It's called Trailer Trash Doublewide. You can listen to several tracks already on the streaming places. We'll make sure links to all those and Adam's socials are in the show notes at rootsmusicrambler.com. The Pickin the Grinnin segment's coming up next. Stick around, but let's go out with another Trailer Trash tune from Adam Chaffins. Let's listen to Sugarcoat It. And this is Roots Music Rambler.
Thank y'all.
Find yourself having to have honest conversations. Just know nobody wants to hear the truth, even if they know it's sugar-coated. People dropping bombs on people halfway around the planet. Pretty TV people mention it for maybe half a minute. Rest of the time they tell you about a cake and how to bake it sugar-coated. Sugar-coated, gotta make it go down sweet. Sugar-coated, that's the way
Welcome back to Roots Music Rambler. We got Adam Chaffins on the board. So we've got husband and wife Adam and Britt Taylor. And then we've got Ben Chapman. We just need Meg McCree to complete the four from they did a song together.
Yes,
so
and that's a good one.
Meg,
are you listening? Meg, are you there?
I know you have my emails. I know they've gone through. We would love to have you on the show. Ben can vouch for us. We're cool people.
And we'll even work around the baby's sleep schedule.
Absolutely.
Anyway.
Absolutely. Yes. So that was great. But yeah, I'm just super tickled that he was here, and I've always loved his work and this Doublewide project. The stuff I've heard from it so far, I'm just, this is good. This is really good shit. So awesome, Adam Chaffins. All those links are in the show notes that you need to go find him and all that good stuff. All right, it's time for the Pickin the Grinnin segment. This is where Frank and I have some picks of things, people, sounds, whatever that are making us grin. It's our way of recommending. That's what I was trying to say. Recommending new music to you. All right, Frank, who's your Pickin the Grinnin this week?
My pick is a band from the good old South Side of Chicago. A bunch of, young dudes. They're younger than I am, but they're adults. They're not like teenagers. And one of the dudes in the band happens to be my immediate supervisor's son. So I'm not doing this to, earn points or whatever. Cause I think I'm pretty solid. But anyway, I'm doing it because I really like this band. I like the music, and it is not the type of music we normally talk about on this show. So they're classified as like an alternative rock band, and a lot of 90s sound to it, which is probably why I like it so much. And the band that I am talking about is called The Dead Bolts.
Nice.
The Dead Bolts. And yes, they're from the south side of Chicago. And their songs, I mean, really musically sound. And what I get from them, like if I had to compare the Deadbolts to anyone that we would know, they remind me very much of early Kings of Leon. The vocals especially, and then like the really heavy bass. And also I get some Lovejoy vibe. Not so much the content, but the sound and the energy. So if you've seen Lovejoy live or, listen to them at all, they are very high energy, and the Deadbolts are as well. So I really dig them. In fact, going to see them tonight. And they've got a couple other gigs lined up in the Chicago area. They're going on tour. They're going to be in your neck of the woods, Falls, in a couple of weeks. So yeah, check them out. I hope you like them.
All right. The Deadbolts. That's a good one. I like it. All right. My Pickin the Grinnin this week. And I've got a little bit of a story behind it too, the way you did with, the boss's son or whatever. So my picks are Gracie Yates and Brock Burton. Now, Gracie Yates is a solo artist out of Elizabethtown, Kentucky. Brock Burton is also a solo artist, but they are dating, and they perform together a lot. In fact, they are on the roster for Laurel Cove, I believe Unbroken Circle. So they're performing as a duet act as well. And so they've got music out there on Spotify. Neither one of them have albums yet. They're very early on in their career. But I happened to have met them at an event not long ago and have connected with them and started listening to their stuff. And I really like what I hear. I'm really excited to see them live because I'll be at least Unbroken Circle, if not somewhere along the way where they are performing. And so I would love for people to go check them out. Again, they don't have a whole lot of material out there, but what they have is really good. And I like them both. I think they're both great, both individually and together. Now, the backstory is because I follow Gracie on social media channels, her mother is also on the social media channels, and she's also Gracie's manager and kind of PR person. So she's helping run Gracie's career. So along the way, we got connected on Facebook and maybe Instagram too. So this artist, Gracie Yates, her mom follows me, and we connected, her friended on Facebook. So I had a very negative experience with a repair work on Katie's car, my daughter Katie's car, a couple of weeks ago. And I'm not going to say the name of the dealer because it rhymes with Oxmoor Ford in Louisville, Kentucky. And basically they had me come in and repair her air conditioner system 3 times. And between times 2 and 3, I said, if I'm bringing this back in, are you guaranteeing your work? Are you going to fix this thing? Because this will be the 3rd visit. And they said, yes, as long as there's not a different problem, you won't be paying for this. I have that in writing. So of course it was, they came up with, the question of, oh, has this car ever been in a collision? Like, no, I bought the car from you. I'm the only person that drove it until 6 months ago, and my daughter's driven it since. It's not been in a collision. So they used the excuse of, oh, it's been in a collision and it damaged the compressor. Must have been from the collision. And I kept saying, there was no collision. I don't know what you're using that word for. There's no collision. At any rate. So I think these guys ripped me off because they made me pay the 3rd time. And I have not contested it yet, but I might. I'm sure being on a podcast, my lawyer will say, well, you screwed this up. But anyway, I'm telling you. So anyway, I post this video on somewhere where Gracie's mom follows me, and she tags her husband in it. Okay. And her husband happens to be a collision mechanic in Elizabethtown, Kentucky, and deals with this type of stuff all the time. And he sent me his number, and I called him. We talked. So I talked to Gracie Yates' dad about my repair problems that I had with my dealer here in Louisville, Kentucky. And he gave me a lot of great pointers on I think this is what happens in that situation, and this might have happened. And so I had a little bit more arsenal to go back and make an argument for take some money off and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not recommending Gracie or Brock, her boyfriend, for that reason, but kind of an interesting little connection there on the social media.
Yeah, for sure.
Gracie's mom, who's also her manager. So, and I didn't even tell you the cool part, which I'm not going to go into deeply. Karen, my girlfriend, and her brother went to school with Gracie's mom and dad. So it's Kentucky. Yeah.
Well, mm-hmm.
There you go. All right. We got to get out of here. So you got some good recommendations. Hey, folks, that's all we got time for this week. We're super glad and thankful that Adam Chaffins was here with us. Roots Music Rambler is a production of Falls and Partners, copyright 2026. Our theme music is Sheepskin and Beeswax by Gentacorum. Join us online at rootsmusicrambler.com and make sure you mash that subscribe or follow button so you remember to join us for the next Hoe-Down and Throwdown. She's Frank.
And he's Falls.
And whatever you do, kids, ramble out.